Welcome back to my playthrough of Shadowrun Returns, the Dead Man's Switch. Your plane hits the SeaTac tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in the cramped back seat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders. A legal chop-chop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for an yen, this is the place to sell your limb or an organ. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. Seems that this is where Sam Watt's body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. Home sweet home. Great. No welcome party, that's alright. Just gonna walk right back. The smell of death and decomposition wash over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf, whistling a tune. His broad grin says, "I love my child a little more than you'd want or expect from someone in the chop shop trade." As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it might just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. "Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour, and some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, sir?" "You the coroner?" "Well, I'm John Dresden, the Organ Grinders branch manager here, so yeah, that makes me this franchise area's coroner, too. You are?" "Drama queen. I represent a man named Sam Watson. I'm here to look into his murder." Interesting. That man makes for a strange client. What makes you think he's here?" "Probably the locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here." "Well, you're right. He's here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though. The press hasn't caught wind of it yet, with it being all the way out here in the Barrens. So who told you he was dead?" "Sam did. When his heart stopped, 100,000 yen was wired to his secure account in my name. I find the killer, I get paid." Dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here. Seen enough dead bodies in my time. Nothing different about this one. He's the second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third one was downtown. Emerald City Ripper? Not my title. That's what the Seattle press insists on calling the killer. All I know is like the original Jack, a Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel, but this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim. What prize did the Ripper take from Sam? Once the liver was cleanly cut out. How about the other lucky contestants? The first victim's heart was missing, the third had their spleen removed. Dresden, get out here. Who the hell would want Sam Watts' liver? War that it's been through. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet, his face an ashen white, for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest is a small pencil-thin incision, covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him, and they took it. Next to Sam are several plastic envelopes containing the evidence found on his body. You could examine the evidence without spoiling it. Moving things around, you can make out that it's a card from a place called the Seamstress Union. Something handwritten on the back, but blood has made it illegible. See if we can make this out. You can only see part of the note given the torn off bits and bloodstains. "Sam, I feel terrible that we argued, probably. We have been long to say I'm sorry. See you there. Love, Jessica." So he was meeting someone somewhere. Standard, cheap, unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. They ain't gonna miss it, are they? Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing and blood is thoroughly soaked in. The bag sloshes a bit in your hands. Let's just put that right back where we found it. See if there's anything else worth taking while we're here. Who's this big guy? Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of Central Casting. If you ignore the tusk, pointed ears, and earthrow brow, you can smell his cheap aftershave a mile away. So this is the new Rip Vic Watts. Name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? Damn. So you insisted at the time. Come on, she offed herself. I had it on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. This Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge. I've already posted everything I know. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, and then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. Perpetrator is most likely right-handed with a slim hand that knows its way around a scalpel. Has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy, too. So, I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon? Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from a military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado. You know, damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You note his superhuman powers of observation. Who the hell are you? I'm new in town. You the welcoming committee? Well, if you're new in town, then let me be the first to tell you that I run the show. If you get in my way, you'll end up back here on a slab. Ooh. He looks back at the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I'm putting someone in a cellar box this week and claiming my promotion. Charming. It's the Lone Star style of justice. Do you always make friends that easy? Well, I'm great at dinner parties, too. Be straight with me. I'll try. You really gonna work for the dead man? Sam was there when I needed him. I'm gonna return the favor. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 yen in his paycheck. Plus he's on the take. You have honor after a fashion. I try to honor the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help you? Who's paying to hold his leash? Well, I don't know, but someone with some major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. What was that McCluskey said about Sam's mother? The official report is that she committed suicide a year ago. Sounds like you disagreed with the findings. My name's on the report, but my actual findings left some doubts. I can't say it wasn't suicide, but there were unusual bruises on her upper arms. And she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it. What are organs worth these days? A healthy body could be worth a whole bunch in the end, but individual organs, not worth as much anymore, with all the synth and cyber stuff on the market these days. Organ grinders only deal in the recently deceased. There's plenty of other chop shops that aren't as picky, though. They don't care where the bodies come from, either. Well, who still uses scalpels? Doctors still learn how to use them in their first year of medical school. Let's do coroners. But now the profession uses them much anymore. It's possible some of the slimier chop shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look. Have you heard of a place called the Seamstress Union? Yeah, it's a nearby club in the Barrens that attracts lowlifes. You'd probably like it. Well, not really sure what that means. Me, I'm not the going out type. Always too much to be done around here. Plus, the dead are just easier to get along with. With a personality like that. I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around these body lockers in the back, see if you find anything useful. Do you know where the murder site is or not? Dresden says nothing. A sly smile plays across his face as he returns back to his work, whistling his tune. I really don't have time for this. But if you're gonna make me poke around, might as well get me something out of it. The code storage unit is labeled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. The cold storage jar opens to reveal the fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest. In addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen, the body seems to be in very good condition. Whoa, easy there. In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. You spot a data jack drilled into his temples and some shamanistic tattoos peeking above his collar. An interesting combination. I told John to wake me up at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 yet? Doesn't feel like 6 yet. Sorry, I didn't expect you to be so alive. Yeah, Dresden thinks he's pretty funny. You're not the first person who pulled that one on. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I notice you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? The latest Ripper victim. Do you know him? Sam, eh? Yeah, glad somebody cares. We used to drink together every now and then over at the Union. Decent enough guy. Always in trouble over something, though. John, is this guy cool? Yeah, he's on the level. Working for Sam, believe it or not. Some sort of dead man switch. Thought you could help him out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Thanks for volunteering me. Alright then. Name's Jake. You are? Nice to meet you, Jake. I'm Drama Queen. Well, manner too. Such a rare thing in this city. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here. John's right. I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder. Poor guy. He's hanging at the Seamstress Union that night, tripped out and rowdy. Been laying low there a few days after a bad run. Miss Kabura asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But out in the alley, some gangers got the jump on me. Oh, maybe I need a soy calf after all. John, could you grab me a cup? Get your own damn cup. My hands are dirty anyway. And what's wrong with this intestine? Thanks, John. You're a real pal. Anyway, there's a big fat court bounty on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got the jump on us. Damn gangers thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles. You get the impression that it didn't work out so well for the gangers. Sam stumbled off during the fight, though, and that's the last I saw of him. Till he turned up here, dead on arrival. Reminds me of my last stay in this place. What, you've done this before? It's a long story. I end up in the morgue more often than the average guy. Yeah, Jake here is a regular. Should have started a rewards card, Jakey. A few more visits, you get a free night stay. I'll hold you to that, John. Anyway, found Sam's body less than a block away from the Union, missing liver and all. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. Their leader's got the whole gang searching the barrens for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit those streets alone at night, trust me. Maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What do you say? Well, it is nice to have someone watching your back out there, assuming you can trust him. Hey, I get it. Gotta be careful in this trade. Not one to go back on a deal, though. John can vouch for that. Plus, you know where I'm hiding out, right? Doesn't leave me a lot of room to sell you out. What do you say? I don't work for free. I fight. I get paid. In yen, not tours. Guess I'd say the same in your shoes. Fine. There's a crit stick with 1,000 yen with your name on it. Help me dust some gangers and it's yours. No need to push it. Let's make a deal. Great. I've been hiding out here ever since that run-in with those Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangers, but the stretch of the Baron here is their turf. Oh, I'm surprised he even made it to this morgue in one piece without packing some heat. Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow. So you need a weapon? Happen to have a SMG with you? Spray and pray? Fair enough. Take this. It's a little beat up, but it works. So ready for an evening out on the town? Just a minute. Tell me some more about these gangers first. Well, they're one of the nastier gangs in town. Their symbol's a flaming jack-o'-lantern, but you wouldn't like their version of trick-or-treating very much. Around here, they're led by a troll named John Paul. He's got the Halloweeners all out in the barrens looking for me. We take him out. Maybe I can breathe a bit easier. Well, if you're buying... Hey, I already provided the party favors. can leave whenever you're ready. Well, packing a Beretta 70 now. Got some med kicks, got a trauma kit and pinch. Got some karma, gonna hold on to that while I can. Think I'm about ready to hit the streets. I'll see you next time. Shadowrun returns.